Good morning, sweet friends. How are y'all this morning? Are you doing fine and dandy sugar candy? When I was growing up, my daddy, he would know parts of a song, but not the whole song. And every Christmas he'd say, Christmas candy, hanging on the tree. That's all he'd say. And there's some more words to it, and y'all may know it, but he didn't know them. That's the only part he'd sing was that part. And I loved to hear it. All right, today, and I know that we just made cabbage casserole just the other day. Not probably 2 weeks ago I made it. And I showed y'all how to fix it. But I'm making this for somebody else. Not me, but for somebody else. So since I got to cook, and since you're on Facebook, why don't we just stay in the kitchen together? Oh, glory. Life is something in it. I'm going to scoot y'all back to the very edge in here. I'm going to make my cabbage casserole. I usually use this casserole dish. Anna gave this to me one Christmas years ago. I think she got it at TJ Maxx. But it has been, and it doesn't, I don't know why, but stuff doesn't stick in here. It's great. And I got to have this butter melted, so I'll do that in a minute. But here we go. What you do is this. And y'all, if you haven't made this, you need to. It is so good. Get you a small cabbage or something like that. You don't want it too big, okay? Cut it in half. Like that. Take that half that you've cut in half, and let me find that other knife. I think that might work even better. Let me look right here and see what I did with that thing. Maybe I put it back over here. I've been cooking around this morning. I needed it. Here's one. That's not the one I really want to use. I told y'all I've lost my knife, and I'm trying to find it. I got 3 right here. Let me see if either one of them will work. Let's try this one. All right, so you want to cut your cabbage up. Not real fine, but not too big a chunks either. So I'm just going to start right here, and I'm going to cut mine about like this. All the way around it, just some little pieces, kind of thin. You don't want to put that old core in it. I love cabbage casserole. And if you haven't fixed it, please don't be afraid of that, because I'm telling you, it's good. All right, so here's about the size I'm cutting it. Let me put it in here. That way you can see a little bit better. That one's too big. We don't like that. See? Okay. This one just fell off, so I'll just tear it up. Like this. There we go. Anyway, you will love this. I'm telling you, it is so good. Whoever invented it, which it wasn't me, knew what they were doing. My mother didn't know this recipe. I don't think it had been created, I reckon you'd say, until after she passed away. I think it's a fairly new recipe. All right, here's some more. See? Crumble it up. Don't just throw it in. Go ahead and, if there's pieces that are stuck together like that, go ahead and separate them, because they'll cook better, okay? Just kind of do it around, as Mama would say, doodle it around a little bit. That reminds me of something. When I was little, all the old houses of long ago, they weren't built on the ground. There was a crawl space underneath it, and the wind would blow back and forth underneath those old houses. They were on concrete blocks, or some of them were on heart pine post-looking things, but none of them sat flat on the ground. Not a single one. So we kids would used to get up under the house and play. And it was so much fun. But you could get a little stick. You'd see these places where we called them doodle bugs. And they were under the house. And you'd get a little stick about the size of a broom straw. You could use broom straw if you wanted to. And you'd stick it in that little hole where they had a little hole with a little mound of dirt on either side. You'd stick it down in there and kind of doodle it around. You'd kind of doodle it around and say, doodle bug, doodle bug. And sometimes they'd come to the top. Y'all remember doing that? I bet you one thing. I'm going to give this part to the chickens right here. That's the core, and I don't want to put it in there. It's too hard. I bet you one thing. I bet you that the children of today have never played doodle bug, find your way home. They're too busy on that phone. They're too busy sitting back in a chair with it. Y'all make your kids get outside. Make them get outside and don't let them take their phone with them. Say, just go find you something to play out there. Don't you go back in this house anytime soon. They'll find a tree to climb, or they'll find a dirt pile to play in, or they may find a dirt dauber nest that they try to knock down. They might see a spider. Who knows what they might see. My mother didn't give us a choice. She'd say, y'all get outside and play. Get out there and play. And we said, we don't know what to play. And she'd say, well, I don't care. Get on out there anyway. Well, we always found something to do. Always. Matter of fact, it was so much fun that when it was supper time, she had to make us come in. Because the other neighborhood kids would be out there and their mamas had sent them all outside. Children need to play in mud puddles. Children need to identify leaves on trees. Children need to find bugs to play with. Children need to catch bees in a jar. Children need to look for tadpoles in mud puddles. Children need to watch a spider build his web. Children need to run. They need to climb trees. They need for you to read to them every single day. Every day. Read to those babies. Even before they can talk. If you'll read to them, you just don't know the difference that makes. Their little IQ, I read one time that their little IQ was formed by the age of 4. So by the time the teacher gets them, it's a little late to be building up an IQ or a smartness. So, you parents, talk to those babies, show them what to do, get out there and play with them outside, do whatever you got to do to entertain them on the outside rather than have that phone in their hand. I think this is enough. It said a small cabbage, and I think this is plenty. See there? I mean, it almost comes to the top. And see how fine I've cut it? All right. I'm going to save this one. I'll make me some slaw or something out of this part. And I'm going to give that core, like I said, to the chickens. Let me run over there real quickly and put this half a stick of butter in the microwave just for a second, because your butter has to be melted. Y'all just stay with me. I'll be right back. I just got to do it. I'm going to put it on 1 minute. Or y'all can just come with me while we stand. It's not going to take a minute, not on a half a thing over here. Look at there. I made me a little arrangement on my table. It's just 3 little... I love these little white pictures. Isn't that pretty? And I just put some boxwoods in it. That's what I did. Let's see. Okay, I think it's melted already. It is. That didn't take long, did it? Isn't that a pretty birdhouse right there? Look at that. One of my friends made that. He's talented. Oh, I know what's something I want to tell y'all. Yesterday, no, I take that back. Today, when I got went out to the porch, it was delivered on my porch. You know, I'm always talking about how creative y'all are. Well, this lady, and you know, I've told you that I try not to use many paper products and that sort of thing. She's come up with this idea. Let me show you what it is. I've already got it hooked up on here. She has made me what she calls a washable paper towel. And this fabric that she made it out of sticks to the other piece. It's kind of felty like. She's got it done around the edges. And you just pull this off and those, see, stay attached. And you use it like a paper towel. You can put, you know, fried food on it or grease or whatever. And then just throw it in the washing machine and put it back on here. And she said you could just roll these around your, that cardboard thing that normally, but I had some left, so I didn't do that. But I'm going to. Isn't this a money saver? Like, she gave me 6 of these, but if you could make you a dozen, heck, you could run it around there and then every other day kind of wash it if you needed to. I think that's as Carol Henry would say, my friend, she said, oh, I think that's a pregnant idea. In other words, it's a growing idea. It's a pregnant idea. All right, we're fixing to cut up our onion to go on top of the cabbage. Do not saute your onion. It goes directly on top and it goes raw. But I will say this. Goodness, that got a little spot inside. I will say this. You need to cut it thin. Not in little pieces. They'd be slivers, but you want it thin. I'm going to have to take out that center part. Y'all see how that's rotting in there? Let me take that out. Cut that part right there out. That's where the... Okay, I'm going to pull this right here. This is how I do it. I pull that out. And that rotten part is just this part. See how it does? Pull that out and throw this part away and you got your good onion left. Let's do this one. Just catch it right there. Pull this out. Well, I pulled it out too soon. Let me see. Right here. There we go. Take that part off. Just pull it off. And it's perfectly good for the rest of it. All right, we're going to cut up one medium size or large onion, whichever one you want to do. And I'm going to cut it in slivers. Meaning I want it real thin, but long and skinny. What was I talking about just then? Well, I talked about children. We used to play at nighttime. I lived in a neighborhood, and so at night, we played in the summertime. We'd be barefooted and everything, run around at night, and we'd play hide and go seek at night. Hide and go seek. And we had the front porch as what we called our jail. If you caught somebody and you put them in jail on the front porch, it was like a little stoop is all it was. But if somebody could come and tag you and you were free again. So here's our onion. And you put this directly on top and separate it. Separate those little things. See what I'm separating them? Put it on top of your cabbage. Do not stir it around. It goes on top like this. And it too is in your first cookbook. And it's right here. That's with the crackers on top of it. Okay. So separate all those little things. Like if you got two, like here, pull it apart like that, okay? Separate them. and put it all on top. All right, let me finish cutting the others. And for the life of me, I don't know why we didn't get snake bitten. I mean, really, when you think about it, it was summertime, it was night, and we were hiding behind bushes, behind houses, and running around all over that neighborhood playing. I guess those snakes were so scared that they just left the area. I don't know. Oh my gosh, we did so many fun things when I was little. All right, we're going to crumble this up on it. Separate them all if they're coming out together like that one did. One of my favorite things to do, and I've told a lot of you this, but we've got so many new followers, and thank you for following me. I appreciate it. And being the little girls we were, and loving to play dress-ups, and living in a neighborhood, we would go around to all the houses and knock on the door. And we'd have a little sack in our hand. And we would say, hey, we're collecting old jewelry, and it doesn't matter if it's broken. So the people would go in their house and give us some earrings, or a lot of it wasn't even broken. They just gave it to us so we could play with it. It was something they didn't wear. And they would put that jewelry in that little sack for us, and we'd go to all the houses and tell them that. It was so much fun. Then my little girlfriends and I would go back to the house and sit on that front porch stoop, like I'm telling you. That was a main place. And it was usually at my house where we went. I don't remember going to anybody else's house much. Everybody came to my house. And we would pour that jewelry out on the porch floor and divide it up. In other words, you get one, I get one. You get one, I get one. And so that's what we did. And we'd play dress-ups then. Oh, we would have earrings and necklaces on, and we just play and play and play. I lived on a dead-end street, so nobody ever traveled on it except the people who actually lived there across the street from me. All right, here we go. Let me pull this over here where you can see it now. So we got our cabbage on the bottom. We've got our onion cut up real nice on the top. Then we're going to put in some salt and pepper. Let me make sure of how much I'm putting in this thing. Let's see what it says. It says a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. So let me find that in here. Anyway, we lived on that dead-end street. That's a fourth. It's the next one. That's a half. We lived on that dead-end street, so we played literally in the street. We played in it. And we'd play hopscotch. We'd draw us a hopscotch. Put this all over the top like this. Sprinkle it. Make sure every bit of it gets some, because here's the reason. Salt pulls out water. Y'all know that. And so if you put it on top, it's going to pull the water out of that cabbage, and it's going to pull the water out of the onion. And it's all going to go down in there real good. All right, now put your pepper on top. Ooh! I got it too much in one spot. I was just fixing to tell y'all, try not to get all of it in one spot. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'll move some of it over here, okay? Let me wash my hands off. I'll be sneezing with all that pepper going everywhere. All right. Now then, we're going to mix up our goodie to go on top of that. So I'll set this aside. Get me a little bowl. No, sorry. Wait, let me put it back over here. We're going to pour the butter over it. And I think I'm going to do it with a spoon because I want to make sure everybody gets some. Do not pour it. I say cooks, they just go like that in the middle. Don't do that. Whoever gets this piece, they want some butter too. Think about it. I wonder if you're the one trying to eat it. Go to all the corners. Then go to the middle. And let everybody have some butter. This is a half a stick, okay? So this butter is going to go down through there. The salt and pepper is going to go down through there. That onion flavor is going to go down through there. And then you're going to say, oh my word, how good this is. Take your little rubber spoon here and scrape out all the goodie. Okay, now then I can move it to the side. We're going to mix a half a cup of mayonnaise. Whatever kind you like, darling. And we're mixing a whole can of cream of chicken soup. We're going to mix those together. I hate that I've shown y'all this before, but maybe you didn't see it before, so this will be good. Stir that up really super good. Mix that mayo in with it real good. Get it real creamy. Okay. Now get your casserole dish. And y'all might say, gosh, that sounds awful. Well, you will be wrong because it is absolutely delicious. All right, so put a little bit every which way. Remember, somebody's got to eat the corners. So put some everywhere. I'm getting hungry just smelling it. I wish y'all could smell this. It already smells good. We hadn't even cooked it. All right, since I'm making this for somebody else, like I did the other day for a dish, I am not putting the cracker crumbs on it right now. I'm going to wait and put them on later, but I'm fixed to tell you how to do it. And you won't see the finished product either because I'm not baking it today. I'm making it up and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator so that I'll have it to bake tomorrow. Okay? That's what I'm doing. Okay? And make sure you get it all out because that's your goodie. All right, now look at all the area and make sure that everybody gets the goodie. Okay, I'm going to spread it around gently with the back of this spoon just a little bit to just a tad to make sure that it's all kind of covered. I'm doing it real gently because you're not supposed to stir it. Don't put it down in there. It'll melt around like it's supposed to. Okay. Now then, it's ready for my refrigerator because I'm not cooking it right now, but I'm going to tell y'all what the recipe says in case you don't have a recipe book. Let me rinse the hands off again. I don't want to hold my book with dirty hands. Okay. Sticky hands. All right, here's what it says, all right? Cabbage casserole. All right. Everything is in it. Everything is on it. So here's what you do. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to cut your your cabbage up and place in a 3-quart casserole dish, which I don't know what size mine is, but it's in there. Chop your onion, place it on top. We did that. Melt a half a stick of butter and pour on top of that. Add salt and pepper. All right. In a small bowl, which we did that. Mix your cream of chicken soup and your mayonnaise. Spread on the top of the cabbage mixture. For the topping, that's what we're fixing to do in another day. But not today, because y'all can't see it because I'm not cooking it all today. And you're going to crush up a whole sleeve of some round buttery crackers. Just crush them up real fine. And spread, wait a minute, and put it in a bowl. And then you're going to melt some butter and put it into the crackers. And you're going to put a little bit of grated cheese in the crackers. So you're going to have your sleeve of crackers, a half a stick of butter. Sorry, let me start over. You're going to have your sleeve of crackers, 1 stick of butter melted to go in the crackers and mix that up real good, and 1 cup of grated sharp cheese. Now here's what I do. And you're going to cook it on 350 degrees for about 45 minutes or until the top is browned and inside is bubbly. Here's what I do, or I'm going to have to do, because mine's going to be in the refrigerator and it's going to be kind of cold. I'm going to cover mine up with some foil and I'm going to cook it about 20 minutes or more to get it started and to get that inside cooking and get it hot. Then I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to put this topping all over it and stick it back in there uncovered. If I were just making it like right now, I wouldn't have to do that. But since mine's going to be cold as a wedge, what I may do is in the morning I may get it out when I get up and let it be getting room temperature so that when I can cook it, it'll be more room temperature. So that's what I'm going to do. But you're going to love this. I'm telling you. You're going to love it. It's really super good. Here's a picture of me down here in this corner. That's when I was a science teacher right there. We had the best time in there. Of course, I was a hard teacher now. I can tell you that. Bless their hearts. I had one of my friends say, "Oh, Lord, I hope my daughter doesn't get you." I said, "How come?" She said, "Y'all do too much. We don't like all that. We want it easy." I said, "Well, she doesn't need to get me then, because I'm not easy. I'm not there to be easy. I'm there to get something planted in their head." Y'all need to support your teachers. You need to help them all you can, because it's hard out there. You got parents that don't want children to behave. They just do their parents anyway. I mean, it's something. It is something. All right, y'all. That's it for today. We've got this made. I'm fixed to put some plastic over it and rearrange my refrigerator so I can find a place to put it. My refrigerator's too small. It is. It's just too small. I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon and that everything will be good for you. And tonight, I hope that when you lay down, you just put it in the Lord's hands, because there's a lot of stuff you can't fix. I mean, you can make your bed, you can cook a dinner, you can love on a baby, you can rake a yard and plant a flower. But there's some things in life that you can't fix. Only God can fix it. Only Him. So it's no use you worrying about it. He tells you not to worry about it because you can't do anything about it. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope that sheet feels so good to your little toesies tonight. Love y'all. Bye-bye.